Hello. All right, we're going to give it a moment here as it starts. Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. My name is Ashley DeLuca, and I am super incredibly excited. Today, we are coming from my bedroom because I have a amazing 3-year-old who is watching Curious George at the top of any volume control. And so, in order for you to be able to hear me clearly, for me not to have to shout over the Curious George, we're back here in the corner of the house. And so, that is why we are coming from my lovely bedroom. So, one of the biggest things about Ucoachia is the flexibility of all the things. And I think that's something that a lot of the coaches, the experts, the other people that are within this community really value, which is that flexibility to be able to do the things that you need to do to be able to do what you actually desire, right? And that's one of the biggest reasons also too why I'm super incredibly excited to be part of this, is because it doesn't have to be all the extras, right? Like, you can actually narrow down. You don't need all the fluff. Like, we're just going to give you what you need. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is more specifically how you can choose the right email marketing platform for your business and for your brain. And so part of that also comes along with being able to really figure out where you are, and then also having a vision of where you want to go. And so when it comes into the email marketing piece specifically, when you think about email marketing platforms, there's at least a trillion that you can choose from. I could sit here and name at least 10. Like, you have ActiveCampaign, you have Klaviyo, you have MailerLite, MailChimp, Sendinblue, or is it SendBlue or Sendinblue? You also have Kartra that you can send out. You can send out in Kajabi, ConvertKit. Like, there's literally so many different ones. There's also like Infusionsoft, but now I think it's called something else now. Like, there's so many ones to choose from. And the thing is that even though I just listed off a bunch of different email marketing platform names, each and every single one of them has something different that they come into the game with. And each platform is set up a little bit differently. The way that the language is set up, the way that, the emails are done, the way that you set up a campaign. Is it even called a campaign? Is it called a broadcast? Is it a single send? Like, everything is different within all of them. And so one of the biggest distinctions, first and foremost, is, for the most of you here, and if you're watching this, you're most likely a coach, right? You're either a coach or a service provider. You have something that is just not necessarily e-commerce based, which I can simplify for you. If you're e-commerce, use Klaviyo/Klaviyo. Use them, like, boom, done. But for everybody else, if you're not e-commerce, even if you're like, I have 2 businesses that I'm working on, like, that's that. But everything else is going to be underneath of that lens of, okay, cool. What is the best platform for your business and your brain? So let's start off first with your brain. So one of the biggest things in regards to with email marketing platforms is there's a lot of times a lot of confusion that comes from your email marketing platforms because there's just so much going on. Again, every single one of them is set up differently. The way things are labeled, the way things are set up. Some are more visual, some are more list built, like do this, like more of like a Zapier. So like, how do you figure out which one is best for your brain? The best thing that you can do is take a quick glance at any of them that you might be interested in using. So for an example, let's say you're like, okay, cool. Like, I've heard, some people talk about MailerLite, for an example. I've heard some people talk about ActiveCampaign. So what you can do is you can easily sign up for the free trial. Just make a note in regards to with, like, if you're not going to go with that platform, if you want to cancel. A lot of them do have a free plan as well that you'd be able to experiment with. Just get inside the platform. You don't have to worry about necessarily going through their entire welcome course or setup course or setting anything up too major. The biggest thing is that I want you to be able to go into your platform and understand at like a base beginner level what in the world is going on. How can you figure out your reporting? How do you know, what your open rate is or your click-through rate? How do you know, how many subscribers were added to a forum? How many subscribers you have in total? Which ones are engaged? Which ones are not? Like, can you easily find information that would allow for you to be able to send campaigns and then understand how those campaigns are performing? So that's the first thing. The other thing as well too is that, like, obviously as you start to get into that platform and you start to really get into the nitty-gritty of setting up those campaigns, you may find little pieces that like don't make sense. Of course, like I've even been there as well too, where, you know, as someone who's like in email marketing platforms all the time, something new comes out, I work with a different platform and I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, what is going on here? You can easily use the actual email marketing platform support team for that. And that's what they're there for. Like, that customer service team is there for you specifically, so that way you can go through the process of being successful on their platform. So utilize it, use it, do the things. And so that's the biggest thing. Now, the other piece of that is your business, right? So on your business side of things, the biggest piece within that is understanding your vision of where you want to go and making sure that that email marketing platform then supports it. Again, there's nothing wrong with, you know, picking a platform and then changing your mind later. Like, it's not a death till we part kind of thing, right? And so within that, like, you're able to then transition, you can change, you can migrate. Like, there's a lot of tools now that allow for you to be able to do that a lot more easier. Or more seamlessly, I should say. But within all of that, it's just really crucial that you take a look at, okay, cool, I want to be able to offer digital products like down the road. Perfect. Does your platform then support that? Well, I can tell you that ConvertKit definitely supports that, right? You know, ActiveCampaign, yeah, you can do some things within there in regards to with like specific automations, but you can't necessarily sell from the platform. And so making sure that it encompasses your long-term goal is actually going to save you, you know, even if it means that you're not starting out with MailerLite, which is free, you start out with ConvertKit and you pay, like it still allows for you to be able to build that foundation, to be able to grow, to be able to, you know, take out a lot of those back and forth decisions and save you time and cost later down the road. And so that's why this step is so incredibly crucial in making sure that like you have both sides of the coin, right? You have both pieces, because without both of those pieces, like if it doesn't make any sense to you, but it works for your business, great. Like it works for your business, but you don't understand it. So you're constantly having to hire out tasks, or maybe you're not fully utilizing the platform. You're missing things, like you're making mistakes. On the flip side, if it's not working for your business, but it makes sense to you, like it's not allowing for you to be able to expand and grow and do like what you really want, which is your bigger vision and your bigger goals. So that's why you have to have both sides. You have to have both pieces in order to be able to find both things. For me personally, that's ConvertKit. Like I love ConvertKit personally. They're my favorite platform, but it may not be the right one for you. I have some clients who are on ActiveCampaign. I have some clients who are on Klaviyo. I have clients who are on MailChimp, even though they're not my favorite. You know, I have clients on MailerLite, like all across the board, because I don't pressure my clients to be on one specific platform, and I'm not going to do the same thing to you either. Like it's important for me to make sure that yes, it works for you, your business, and your brand. That is it. And so this is kind of a lot of like what I teach, and this is a lot of what my style is that I'll also be encompassing into Ucoachia as well too, which is more of the collaborative view. It's not just what I say it goes, it's more so about like what is going to work best and helping guide you to help make those decisions and to be able to create, you know, email sequences that work for you, to be able to help you create lead opt-ins, to be able to, you know, design landing pages that don't overwhelm the fudge sickles out of you, or you have to pay $1,500 for a designer to do. Like, what is the simplest and easiest way to be able to do the things so that way you can get back to what it is that you love doing? And for me, it's hanging out with my 3-year-old. And so that is all the good stuff. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them down below here on this video. If you have any questions about like what I'm going to be covering in Ucoachia, what that's going to look like in regards to with like that roadmap of being able to just start from the get-go, like give me the foundation, let's do the things, let's implement it, let's make it work, let me know. I'm here for all of it. Like I'm more than happy to support. So drop them down below under this video, and I think that's everything. I think we covered all the good stuff. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning, guys. I really appreciate it. But yeah, if there's anything else, you know where to find me. See ya!